Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another video. My name is Courtney Grayton. I am a creative and natural hair stylist and an educator. Over here on my side of YouTube, you will find expert information on caring for your locks and other hair care content. I want to try something new that I haven't done yet. So if you have started your locks within the last year or so and have been watching my content to help you, go ahead and drop that below. Drop your lock anniversary. I would love to know where you are in your journey, and I would also love to give any help. This particular video is going to be about buildup. So I will say that the majority of people with locks will experience some form of buildup at some point within a lock journey. So this is not something to kind of feel bad about, but of course I'm always here to just give you more information and help you to prevent it, to also kind of remedy the situation if you are experiencing it as well. So I want to preface this video by saying prevention is always the best thing. So if you can prevent buildup, then you won't have to worry about going back and having to do work to get the buildup out of your locks. The reason buildup happens is because your locks can create sort of like pockets, especially if you have starter locks where it's not fully mature from root to tip, and especially as your hair starts to grow out, there's just going to be loose hair in here and lots of nooks and crannies for things to get trapped in there. So I'm going to be talking about the types of buildup, 4 different types of buildup, how to prevent it, and then what to do if you experience any of these types of buildup. You will first have to determine what type of buildup you have in order to determine the steps in order to get rid of it. We're going to talk about lint buildup, product buildup, dandruff that may cause buildup, and then also just plain old dirt buildup. So the first one we're going to talk about is lint buildup, and I would say that this is probably the most common type of buildup that I see, and it is actually the most hard to get rid of. So this is one of the ones that you really want to be making sure that you are doing your due diligence in order to prevent, because once it happens, it's a little difficult to remove. And actually, if the lint is really embedded in your locks and you're spending a lot of time sort of picking it out, you really run the risk of making your locks weaker because you're essentially causing some breakage. Your hair is tightly wound together, especially if it's mature, and consistently trying to pick it. I know some people will use like needles or safety pins in order to kind of pick at the hair, and it can create holes within your locks and definitely weak spots. So I have 3 ways to prevent it, and the first one is to just encourage the people around you, people who see you the most often, to pick the lint out if they see it. So a lot of times, even when my clients come, if they just have some lint sitting on their hair, or my friends who have locks, my nephew who has locks, if I see lint in their hair, I'm going over and I'm taking it out. Obviously, you ask people for permission to touch their hair, but you know, my people trust me, so I will pick lint out of my people's hair if I see it. And that's really because I don't want that lint to get down embedded in there. So if it's just sitting on top and it's easy to kind of pick off, do that. You know, help your people out by taking it, and even again, just encourage the people around you that if they ever see some lint in your hair, to take it out, just because you want to remain lint free. A lot of times you won't be able to see lint that's caught in the back of your hair or maybe on the sides or whatever. So people who are looking out for some lint that may be caught in the back or whatever will really help you in the long run by just like constantly picking it out. Because sometimes you just look up and now your hair is full with lint and you're like, how did this happen? But it's really all those little moments where small pieces of lint just sort of collected and now it's become a bigger issue. Another one is just to constantly cover your hair. So one thing that I recommend for a lot of my clients, especially for my kid clients who tend to play rough, they roll all over the carpet, is to cover your hair when you're at home. If you're not out, if you're not going somewhere or on camera or anything like that, and you're able to cover your hair without any worries, it just makes sense to go ahead and cover it. So my couch doesn't necessarily collect too much lint, but there are a lot of couches that are a little bit more shaggy or that may attract lint. And so if you can imagine just sort of like leaning on it or laying down, just over time, little pieces of lint and fibers will get caught in your hair. Covering your hair will obviously prevent all of that, especially when you're sleeping, which you should be doing anyway. Covering your hair will help to minimize the amount of lint that gets trapped in your locks. Another one, which I stress all the time, which you shouldn't be doing, but not using heavy products. So a lot of like thick oils, things like castor oil or like heavy shea butter products that sort of sit on top of your hair and don't really penetrate and melt down into your hair can tend to like attract and hold on to lint. So if you can imagine a very sticky castor oil like substance that's sitting on your locks, if you were to lay on your couch or even wear a sweater or something, or a scarf, especially with the winter time coming, winter and fall, those different fibers can really get caught within that sticky product residue. So using lightweight products that will really melt down into your strand. There are some products on the market that have like a honey type of consistency. I've had a client come in and bring that to me, and that was one of the main things that I told him, you know, you should not be using this at all because it's heavy, but then also this is the reason you have lint and everything stuck in your locks. It is attracting everything and it's keeping it, it's holding on to it. Yeah, lightweight products always. So if you found this video too late and you already have a lot of lint in your locks, it looks unsightly, you don't really like the look of it, the only thing that I've really seen that doesn't necessarily get rid of it but sort of conceals it is to dye your hair. So if your hair is black but you have a lot of like white and gray lint all in there, dyeing it black will literally just dye those fibers, dye the lint, and give you a more clean look. It might not completely take it all away, but it will definitely go a long way in making your hair just look more presentable and healthier. And then after you do that, you want to just make sure that you are keeping up on your prevention techniques so that you don't have the same issue later. That's all I have for lint. One thing, main thing, prevent it, cover your hair. The next type of buildup that I'll be talking about is product buildup. This comes from using heavier products, like I said, that aren't super lightweight, that don't really melt down into your strands, or not washing your hair enough where it compounds on top of each other. So there might be some lightweight products that you're using, but if you haven't washed your hair and you're continuously using that product every day, you're going to see some of that product buildup. The good thing about product buildup is that a lot of it can be removed. Most of it actually can be removed, either with a clarifying shampoo, sometimes just with regular shampoo. I usually like to go in with clarifying shampoos if I notice some product buildup, because that sort of ensures that it really gets down in there. After you use a clarifying shampoo, you always want to go in with a moisturizing shampoo, because that clarifying shampoo is meant to strip your hair. So you want to add that moisture back in. But usually product buildup is able to be removed with just washing your hair very thoroughly. Some more extreme cases of product buildup may need a detox, and there are different ways that people do detoxes. I'm not someone who specializes in detox, so the only one that I currently do is ACV rinse. I've seen people add in baking soda and things like that. Those things you want to use sparingly, but if absolutely necessary, go ahead and use that, and just make sure you're hydrating, doing deep conditions and steam and all of that afterwards to prevent your hair from drying out. But those detoxes typically do a really good job of releasing a lot of the buildup and even just making your locks feel lighter. If you have a really good detox, your locks feel lighter after. They're a little bit more malleable because you've gotten a lot of the gunk out of the middle of your locks. I have two more types of buildup that I want to talk about. That first one is going to be dandruff. If you are watching this video, I've most likely already dropped a video specifically talking about dandruff, why it happens, what to do, and all of that. But I mentioned in that video that the dandruff can sort of get trapped in your hair, just like that lint, just like the product. There's so many different pockets within your locks that dandruff, as your skin cells sort of shed from your scalp, will get trapped in that as well. This one is also a little hard to remove, but typically those detoxes and clarifying shampoos will help as well. A lot of this buildup happens around the nape areas and those locks that sort of get tucked in the back, that are rubbing up on so many different things. So making sure that you're focusing there when it really comes to your detox and stuff like that will help to remove a lot of that buildup. That's really all I have for dandruff. Definitely go watch that video. It's so in-depth. I really went in depth on the different types of dandruff, why it happens, and the ways you can prevent it. So go there for more information on dandruff. And then the last one that I want to talk about today is just plain old dirt. So buildup happens with dirt if you're not washing your hair. There's this myth going around that your hair grows faster when it's dirty, and honestly, I used to believe that at one point, like high school. I would notice that my mom's hair grows so fast, and you know, after a while I just realized, like, I think it's just genetic because my hair also grows fast. But we would say that her hair grew fast because she didn't wash it much, but that's really not the case. Your hair and your scalp really needs to be washed regularly. You know, there are a lot of people on the line saying that when you are starting your locks or in your lock journey, you don't need to wash your hair but a few times a year, every 4 months or so. And no, I recommend washing your hair no more than every 4 weeks. Your scalp, it is porous, it is skin, so it really needs to be cleansed often in order to allow room for that growth to happen, allow more blood circulation to happen as well, and it needs to be clean, y'all. Some other things that can kind of happen with this dirt is that if your hair is dirty, it will tend to itch more, which will then lead to you maybe scratching more, which then with locks, scratching is a no-go, so you could have some breakage. So you really want to just keep your hair clean so that you don't have this like itchy feeling or just like icky feeling that makes you want to touch your hair often or scratch it. Dirt is not usually something that's visible, but you definitely might smell it. Even if it's not noticeably dirty, it is if you've gone a long time. If you are washing your hair regularly, you know, and you might have some lint in there, if it hasn't had a chance to get down in your lock, it might rinse out with that wash. But say if you are going 3 to 4 months, you're giving all of these things, the product, the lint, the dandruff, all of that more time to really get embedded in your lock. Wash your hair, wash your hair. That's all. Like I said, it is best that you prevent it so that you don't have to remedy it after. If you've already experienced it, I hope that these tips that I've given you will help you to remedy your hair and cleanse your hair, really get it looking fresh and clean again. If you have any other questions as far as buildup, definitely let me know below. If there's anything you feel like I missed or something that maybe works for you, go ahead and share it below too. I love for this to be a community for, you know, everyone on their lock journey, people who haven't started, people who have been in it for years, to share and create an environment where we can help each other and educate each other. This definitely is a symbiotic relationship. I would love to keep it that way. So go ahead and leave your comments below and talk to me. I love to be down in the comments answering your questions and just responding to your encouraging words. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you are looking for any lightweight products, things that won't cause that product buildup that we are talking about, you want to go ahead and check out Froetry Products. I will definitely have the links down below. This is my hair care brand. All these products are tried and true for years, and they've relaunched, and we are rolling, y'all. We're rolling, and these products are amazing for preventing that product buildup because they are lightweight enough to be used every other day, daily, without creating any buildup, and also without really attracting a lot of that lint. Definitely want to make sure you're covering your hair as well. It's not a miracle product that's just going to create a barrier for lint buildup and things like that, but these are great products to use that will not create buildup themselves. I am just honored to be your source of information for lock care. If you have any suggestions for videos or anything that you would like me to cover, go ahead and leave that below, and I will see you all in my next video. Y'all have a good one. Bye.